to chapter 11. Now we have the people of Gilad. The city of Gilad needed somebody to save them from the Goyim of Ammon. And they get a new leader. His new leader is called Iftah HaGiladi.
Iftah.
In Hebrew, Iftah means he will open. So he opened the gates of redemption for the Jewish people. So therefore, he was called also Gibur Hayil. Why is he called Gibur Hayil? Because he's the one who's going to do the miracles. He was worthy. He was a mighty man. Interestingly, the Torah calls his mother a Zonah. Why is his mother Zonah? The Rishonim have a little bit of debate. Some say that she was only called Zonah because she was Pileged. She was a concubine. So she didn't have Ketubah, she didn't have Kiddushin, so she's like Zonah. But she literally wasn't a Zonah. Some say that she was called Zonah because he was from a different mother than all his brothers. And therefore, if someone's daughter was to inherit the land of her father, and she married someone else from a different tribe, right? Let's say a guy only had girls. And this one girl married a guy from a different tribe. So she's basically going to get land from this tribe and give it to another tribe. She's called like Zonah. She's like called like she was taken by somebody else. So therefore, that's what happened with his mother. His mother from a different tribe. There was a different tribe than his father. So that's why they want to call her Zonah. But anyways, his brothers, there was animosity between him and his brothers. They didn't see eye to eye. But anyways, Gilad was his father, right? Yiftah HaGiladi, and he had more sons with another wife, and there was other children. But anyways, they used to call him Bin Isha Acheret. They used to call him the man of a son of another woman. Now, Gilad was from the tribe of Menashe, and Yiftah was forced to run away from his brothers who were going to kill him. They got such an argument. He fled to a land called Eretz Tov, which is the Torah says in the people who lived there were Rekim. Rekim means they were empty, the boorish men. They didn't know so much. They didn't have no money, not jobs. Yiftah became their leader. He gave them what to do, and he they called this land Eretz Tov because there's a relative of Boaz named Tov. If you remember, from Ruth and Boaz, he had a relative called Tov that he offered to marry Ruth to do Yibum, and Tov said he didn't want to, so ended up Boaz did the Yibum. But anyways, Ammon continues his war with Am Yisrael, and the elders saw that they were in danger, and they said, you know what, Yiftah is a good leader. He got the people in Eretz Tov together. We need you. Everybody agrees. When there's a time of need, everyone puts their differences aside, and therefore they were willing to put Yiftah in charge. Now, these elders, some want to say that this was actually the brothers. The brothers of Yiftah were the elders, and even they put their differences on the side in order to be able to fight Ammon. So Yiftah tells them, listen, you elders, you're the ones who chased me out. You're the ones who are saying that I'm daughter of Zonah. I'm son of Zonah, I'm Beni Shaheret. All of a sudden, when it's difficult for you, you call me, you need my help. So it really shows that you don't really care about me, you just want to use me. You want to use me for when it's difficult for you and then throw me away. Why should I help you? Why should I accept this pretend friendship? So Yiftah didn't mean this as revenge. He was just actually trying to make sure that they were honest, and that even after the war finishes, they were really going to be seeing eye to eye. So the elders, they regretted it, they apologized, and they felt bad. And listen, if you don't bear a grudge, Hashem will not bear a grudge against us. The way we are with others is Hashem that will be with us. So he says, listen, if I fight and I win against Ammon, you have to make me the leader. I'm going to be the leader, and I earned it. And they agreed, and they said Hashem is going to be the witness. And he went to gather the people. He prayed in Mitzpeh, and then Mitzpeh is also a place where Yeshua prayed. And first, Yiftah sent messengers to King Ammon to say, let's make peace. Why do we have so much hatred? And the king said that it doesn't matter. You took the land of Israel by force. Ended up being that they couldn't see eye to eye. And therefore, actually, the Yiftah said, how is this your land? What do you mean? Hashem gave it to us. That's why Rashi says in the beginning of the Torah, why does the Torah start with Bereshit, with creation? Start with halachot, with the mitzvot, to teach that Hashem created the world. Hashem gives, Hashem takes. Hashem gave it temporarily to the goyim, and then He will take it back in the end of days and give it back to the Jewish people. So the Spirit came upon Yiftach, and they decided to go to war. And then Yiftach makes a very interesting neder. He makes a very interesting vow. He says, Hashem, help me defeat Ammon, and if I do, I make a promise, the first thing that comes out of my door, my house, I will give it as a sacrifice, olah, offering to Hashem. So now he goes, and he really meant, he thought an animal was going to come out of his house. But even that was not proper, because what if chochike comes out of his house? What if a pig comes out of his house? Wait, how can you give that as a sacrifice, right? But anyways, he wins. He wins against Bnei Ammon. He comes home, and his family greets him with joy and musical instruments. But then he saw that who came out first from his door? Is his daughter. His daughter, he saw her, he screamed, he ripped his clothes, and he cried. He said, I made a neder. I thought an animal that's kosher is going to come out. I thought a goat, a sheep is going to come out, a cow. But now you came out, I cannot go against my word. So she said, you know what? If that's what you said, and that's what made you win the war, I accept it. His daughter said, I accept it. You should give me as a what's it called? As a korban. Yiftach, why didn't he do hatarat nedarim? Why didn't he undo his neder? So he wanted to, and that's called hatara mi'ikara. It's called charata is regret, having regret from the beginning, and say that if I would have known this was what would have happened, I would have never made a neder like this. So, the daughter didn't agree to him. The daughter said, this is not like a regular neder. You can do a charata mi'ikara. She said, because through this neder, you won the war. If you undo it, so then they're going to be on top of us again. They're going to win against us again. They're going to beat us. So therefore, you have to fulfill it in order to keep the win continuous, that we should continue to be in rule. And she didn't want to do it. So this actually led Yiftach to think that he cannot do harata. And then Yiftach's daughter said that she should be given 2 months to go to the hills and mourn that she's never going to get married. Her request was granted. Her father built a house for her where she remained alone, engaged in Avodah Hashem, disconnected from the world. Every year, for 4 days of the year, they would come and console her. She lived like a hermit, and that was the way of saying Kodesh La Hashem. She would not be used by anybody for anything. That was a sacrifice to Hashem. So they didn't have to do human sacrifice. They just had to do like a Kohen sitting all day in the temple, like sitting in the house, serving Hashem by themselves, nobody else. So what do we see from here? We see from here the power of a person that has to be careful with his mouth. Like Mara says, Yiftach asked inappropriately, and he was asked inappropriately. But the question is why? Eliezer, he also asked inappropriately. What if a lady with one leg came and offered water? What if a mamzeret came and offered water? He also asked inappropriately. How come Hashem answered improperly? We know Shaul ben Kish also asked inappropriately. Whoever kills Goliath will get my daughter. What if a mamzer killed a Goliath? What if a goy killed Goliath? So he was lucky David HaMelech killed Goliath. But why was he answered properly? Maybe Yiftach also should be answered properly. So Yifetor says Eliezer trusted in the merit of Abraham and Yitzchak. So when he went, he was always saying, Hashem, do it not for me, do it for the sake of Abraham and Yitzchak. When Shaul asked, whoever kills Goliath gets my daughter, he was doing it for the merit of Am Yisrael. He wasn't doing it for himself, right? But Yiftach, he relied only on himself. He relied only on his neder, and he thought his neder would be so powerful that would give him the win. And that was the problem. That was the problem. He relied on his own zechuyot. The sages say that the tzaddikim, they always pray, Hashem, give me matnat hinam. Give me a free gift. Don't give me based on my merits. Give it to me out of a hesed. Because they never rely on their own merit. Interestingly, the Kli Yakar says that he used his neder different. He used a different word. He says that he used neder la Hashem. He said Hashem's name, and therefore there was a lack of kavod shamayim, and that's what happened. That's why the tragedy happened to him. And then and the Rif says no. The Rif says that what did Eliezer and Shaul both ask for? They asked, if this, then my door, then I'm asking for shidduch, basically, right? Eliezer was shidduch, and Shaul was also for shidduch for his daughter. But Yiftach wasn't making shidduch, so therefore he says that Yiftach, they got in the end something good, because anyways shidduchim was all from Hashem. It's already written in the stars, as they say. Well, you're ready before you're born. You already decided what shidduch you're gonna. So even if they make a vow, even if they make a question, Hashem's Ashgacha Pratit got involved anyways. But Yiftach, there was no shidduch involved, so it was prone to making mistakes and prone to getting a bad result. So therefore, the point is that before you open your mouth, you got to think twice. And before you go and you make neders, you always got to say bli neder, and you always got to think twice, because of the power of the mouth. The Gemara Sechet Shabbat says people die, and widows cry, and they're not answered because of unfulfilled vows. A person has to be very careful. You could be minudin l'shamayim chas v'shalom. Your prayers won't be answered if you use your words and you don't mean it. So then your prayers won't mean anything either, chas v'shalom. So we should learn from Yiftach. Yes, you could be a great leader, but you still have to watch your mouth. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen.